G'day everyone, welcome to One Day to Web. Today I'm going to run through a few of the finer points of choosing a domain name for your website. Decision time. Now, if you already have a business and a business name and your website is about your business, I recommend using your business name as the domain name. If your business name is a little bit long, you might like to shorten it, but in the long term, I think it's better for the branding of your business that you go with your business name as your domain name. Now, if not, then you've got two choices to make. You can go with something that's literal to the product or service that you're selling or promoting, or you can go with something a little bit more original and more memorable. Why would you choose one over the other? Well, the first one, customdeckchairs.com, has more search engine value. If someone is to type custom deck chairs into a search engine, then it's going to be more likely that you come up higher in the search engine results than, for example, bigdeck.com. However, in the long term, bigdeck.com has a lot more brand value. You know, it's a bit cheeky, it's original, and long term people will probably remember that domain name a bit better. There's plenty of examples of that. I know here in Australia we have a website called oo.com. Now, OO doesn't really mean anything, but they've become synonymous with discount selling of special items. Now, do you go with the .com or do you go with a localized domain? Well, if you're selling things locally, whether it be a service or product, service, for example, say you're an accountant or a solicitor, you probably go with a localized domain because once again, if I'm in Australia and I'm searching for solicitors in Australia, Google recognises that when you have a website with a .com.au name, they recognise that that's in Australia. It believes that it's more relevant to the search that I'm doing, and it will tend to put it higher. Same goes for selling and shipping products. If you're focused on selling products and shipping them locally, then I would go with a local domain name. When would you go with a .com name? Well, if you're selling digital products, let's say an ebook or software, for example, you really have a global market because there's no cost of shipping. You may well have a global audience, so I'd go with a .com name. What about if you're just blogging? You just want to set up a blogging website? Well, once again, it depends what's appropriate. If you're blogging about things that are relevant to locals, then go with a localized country domain name. Whereas if you're blogging about something that's on a global scale, well, go with a .com. Where should you register your domain name? Well, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of domain registrars, but for .coms, I recommend GoDaddy. They're cheap, reliable, and I've been using them for a number of years now and never had a problem with GoDaddy. Reasonably priced. So .coms, go with GoDaddy. Localized domain names, do a search around. There's bound to be lots of them in your specific country. So have a look around. Don't just go with one. Make sure you compare prices. How much should you expect to pay? .com expect to pay around about $10 a year. That'll actually decrease if you register for in excess of 1 year. For local country domains, tends to be $15 US and upwards, depending on your country. As I said before, make sure you shop around and you get the best deal. There are some unscrupulous domain registrars that try to rip you off. So make sure you have a shop around first.